Have you ever killed someone using a point 4 staff that was awakened and you looted that awakened weapon and you think to yourself, how much should I sell this for? Because the awakened weapons cannot be sold in the regular market. So you cannot sell them. If you have awakened them, you cannot sell them in the regular market like the Carolean market, Limhurst market. It's not available to be sold. Wouldn't you like to have the opportunity to estimate how much is the value of that weapon? Here's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I have created the calculator for these kinds of problems where you have an awakened weapon, you don't know how to price them because the estimated value of that specific item does not reflect how much silver was used for that specific item. Okay, to show this in action, I'm actually going to go to Brazilian. Okay, so I have this item that I crafted and I awakened myself. It has 48 plus 48 item power, good energy reduction, and starting off with the ability damage. But if you look at the estimated value, it says 4.83. Now that estimated value is only applicable to a 6.4 fire staff. That's it. It does not take into consideration how much silver was invested in this particular awakened item. Now I have created a calculator that can easily estimate how much silver was used in creation of that item. So let's use this as an example. All right, let me explain how this calculator works. It has all of your awakened item categories from 4.4 to 8.4. Now, if you're looking at this, don't think that this is only applicable for the shapeshifter legendary weapons. It is available for everything. This is just a placeholder as an indicator that this tab over here, this box over here is for tier 4.4. Now, my item is 6.4. So I'm going to go to over this, over here. And the first thing that you'll see is the energy cost, the siphoned energy cost. This value over here is the estimated value of the siphoned energy when I created this specific calculator. Obviously, you can go ahead and check for the estimated value of the siphoned energy and Avalonian energy. Note that you need to only type the cost of one siphoned energy or Avalonian energy. The calculator automatically incorporates it into the calculation if it's 6.4, 5.4, 4.4, or whatever. Now, there's also this tab over here called global discount. Now, you can just put that at 0, but if you want to be a little bit more accurate with your calculation, and obviously go to, let's say, the travel planner and see what's the global discount, make sure that the discount is in percentage. So you can use the repair station to check for the global discount. The global discount right now is 5.7. So in this cell over here, you type 5.7. Make sure to type 5.7. Don't type 5.7% because it's already in percentage, okay? The calculator will not give you an accurate enough estimate if you have this at percentage, okay? Just have it at 5.7. Moving on to the next part of the calculator is the base estimated value. Now, this base estimated value can be found over here. So this is the base estimated value of the weapon without being awakened. So get that, plug that into the calculator. There you go. That's 8 million, 4.83 million. And the strain on the item. This is actually the biggest indicator of how much silver was invested in that specific item. You can find it here. So the strain is 38.12. You just type 38.12 and then boom. The estimated value of this item right here is 12.8 million silver. You could say that this is the overall silver invested in this item, but how much should I sell it for? So whenever you killed someone with a legendary weapon, most of the time they are willing to buy it off of you. But since there is no official way to know how much they have invested in that specific weapon, there isn't an easy way to price that weapon so that you are going to benefit Both of you are going to benefit. They're going to get their weapon back, and you're going to get that silver. Because again, who would want to buy that legendary weapon other than the one who just crafted it and awakened it? It's very unlikely for someone to actually buy an awakened weapon from someone else because of the stats. It's very unlikely. Most of the time, your buyer is the one who previously owned it. Now, before all of these calculators were created, there was no way for you to be fair to both parties. But since this exists now and this will be available for everyone for free, you can just plug in all of the information about the awakened weapon, and you get to see an estimate of how much they have already invested in that weapon. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to sell it for this specific value, okay? There is obviously the cost of potentially how much effort they've put into it. All right, the sentimental value, the crafter, the one who attuned, what's the history of the weapon. It all depends on you, the seller, and the buyer to come up with a price for that. Come up with a price for those subjective value of the weapon. But at least with this calculator, it gives you a base value to negotiate from. So you know that if you get this specifically right here, you're going to sell it for at least 12.8. If you looted this and they said, all right, I'm gonna buy it for 8 mil, you know that you're losing out on 12.8 you're losing out on about 4 million silver invested in that weapon. But again, it boils down to how much the buyer is willing to buy it and how much the seller is willing to sell it, and you just meet in the middle. That is the value of that item. But at least with this calculator, you can actually have a base value to basically compare both sides. So this right here, this weapon right here, estimated value of this, just the silver invested, is 12.8 million silver, which I think is a pretty good way to, again, get an estimated value on all of these awakened weapons. Because as time goes on, it's going to be more difficult to price these kinds of weapons because they will have different item value. They will have different attributes, stats, and strain. And I think this calculator right here will help with the discussion of how much you should be willing to pay for that legendary weapon. This is the first version of this calculator, and here's the cool thing about it. The cool thing about it is it's free. So if you are watching live on Twitch right now, type !Discord, or if you are watching on YouTube, check the description below, click that invite link, go to Discord and YouTube rules, make sure to click on this right here, the Albion logo, and you will be given access to this right here, to this glorious legendary weapon calculator, which I have included the legendary weapon cost calculator. You can just download this. This is going to give you a value, a base value, to start the negotiation with the buyer. And I think it's a pretty cool calculator. Obviously biased, because I created this and it was pretty fun creating this actually. So yeah, if you are not yet part of the Discord, if you want to get access to these calculators, go type !Discord, click the description, the invite link in the description, and follow the steps. And there you go. Get it.